Josh Heupel, welcome back. Now behave yourself. What's up, everybody? This is the Sooners on SI Weekend Preview. I'm John Hoover. That's Ryan Chapman. That's Randall Sweet. They're going to help me break down Oklahoma's big game this week against Tennessee. The Mighty Volunteers are in town, and it's a really, really big game. The Sooners are 3-0. But last week, guys, it was another up-and-down performance against Tulane. OU looked good, kind of good early, and then they kind of slacked off in the third quarter, and then they took care of business in the fourth quarter. A little bit of a lackluster performance for the third week in a row, but you know what? None of that matters. Oklahoma fans have been waiting for, get this, 1,158 days. When Saturday finally gets here, it'll be 1,158 days since Brent Zwerneman from the Houston Chronicle broke the news that Oklahoma and Texas were joining the SEC. 1,158 days. Oh, my gosh. I counted them up. Hope my calculator didn't break. Of course, this week, it's SEC week. It's Tennessee week. It's Josh Heupel week. Favorite son status. Welcome back, Josh Heupel. Greg Sankey, thank you for that. On the field, the Vols are really good, y'all. Number 6 in the country in the polls. They've got the number 2 or 3 offense, the number 2 or 3 defense, depending on if you follow scoring or yardage or whatever it is. They're really good. Got a hot shot young quarterback in Nico. Y'all. I almost made it through. Ayamaliava. Sorry, Nico. We should have just stuck with Nico. I tried my best. Ayamaliava. They've got a bunch of really good receivers. They've got a massive offensive line. They've got probably the best defensive line in the country. They're 3-0. They haven't given up a touchdown in 16 quarters. I don't know if you guys saw that great tweet from Eli Letterman this week. It's been since 1978 that the last time a ranked OU team at home was a touchdown underdog, which they are to Tennessee. 1978. This will be OU's first ranked opponent in Norman since OSU in 2022, I think. Or is it TCU?
First ranked opponent since OSU. First top OSU. 10 opponent since TCU in 17.
That's it. Thank you. OSU, Oklahoma's first top 10 opponent in Norman since TCU, you said? I was thinking it was
2017.
Ohio State in 2016, but what do I know? It's been a long time, guys, since a team this good came rolling into Norman, Oklahoma. And if I could go on and on about this game, but we'll just do this. Kickoff is 6:30. It's a national telecast. College game day's in town. Ben, the Golden Retriever, is in town. ABC has the game, so let's jump into this week's questions. You guys ready? Enough from me. What was more important? Ryan, we'll start with you. Was it Jackson Arnold's start last week, or was it his finish? And can he carry that over to this week?
Yeah, I know a lot of people were juiced. We asked all week, where's the easy stuff? Where's the easy stuff? Arnold came out, bang, 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 right down the field. But the rest of the way, save Maine, in SEC play, Oklahoma is probably going to be in tight contests. Not everything's going to go perfect. College football, more than anything, is an imperfect game. Things are going to mess up at some point, and Jackson Arnold owned one of the bigger blips that Oklahoma's had all year with that pick 6 that he threw right at the start of the fourth quarter. It pulled Tulane within 5. But the thing that he did is he finished. And it wasn't 2004, put the oranges on the finish sign and then roll off into a cliff and die against USC finish. He actually put together 2 big-time scoring drives, one off a short field, one driving the field a little bit to put Tulane away, put Oklahoma's defense in a spot where they could get after Darian Mensah. That's the stuff that Jackson Arnold's going to have to do all throughout SEC play. He's going to have to rebound. He's going to have to overcome adversity because it's not going to be perfect. That's what you sign up for when you play the best football conference in America. For me, it's not how he started, even though that was great. It's how he finished, because that's the stuff Oklahoma's going to need if they're going to reel off a bunch of these wins in SEC play.
Yeah, I agree, Ryan. I got to say, he had a more impressive finish. He had a nice start, I thought. Solid first quarter. He had a rushing touchdown. Obviously, that was entertaining. He threw the football well, 9 of 13 passing, 73 yards in the first quarter. But that scramble for the 24-yard touchdown was so impressive. When he, as decisive as he was on that play, he just wasn't really decisive in the first 2 games. He finished up the football, throwing the football in the fourth quarter, 3 of 6. But it was almost a little bit. There were shades of that BYU game last year, where he had to come off the bench at halftime and make plays on third and fourth down. You know, he didn't give him a lot of plays to make, but he made them count. And here's the one that impressed me as much as anything is you saw the pick six, right, which wasn't necessarily his fault. It was because it came off of his hand, but it was a blocking situation up front. But you saw the pick six. Then the next drive, you saw sack, penalty, incompletion. Then the next drive, it's no gain, penalty, incompletion. And you're thinking, this isn't working out. This isn't how five-star quarterbacks are supposed to look in their first year as a starter. Next drive, he starts it off with an absolute BB on a screen pass through traffic to Deion Burks, 20-yard screen pass. Then a couple plays later, he puts the team on his shoulders, and what does he do? He puts the game away with that 24-yard touchdown run. I think that experience in another close game is going to be big for him this week if the game is close. Randall, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that, the way that Jackson Arnold started last week, it got the confidence rolling for him too. Even after he throws that late pick six, he's able to shake it off and say, I'm Jackson Arnold. I'm Oklahoma's starting quarterback. I was a 5-star. I have the ability to go out there and do what needs to be done to lead this team to victory. Given the way that those first few weeks had gone, given the way that Oklahoma's fans and, just in general, the conversation had gone around the offense, around Jackson Arnold, I think it was really, really important for his mental strength and his, confidence to be able to go out there, take control of that game early, put 21 points on the board in the first half to be able to show fans, hey, Oklahoma's offense is back, to not get himself into a situation like Spencer Rattler found himself in years ago where Oklahoma was booing, the fans are not behind him. And even if it's not his fault, it's because the offense can't get going, they can't score. So him being able to get that confidence going, I think really shows and is going to be important for him moving forward, regardless of whether it's a pick six, whether he gets down against Tennessee or you name it. Him coming out to start that game, building that confidence is going to be important for him moving forward, being able to build his confidence, rebounding from future mistakes.
Okay, the second question is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, although I'll set it up this way. Tennessee is a touchdown favorite, anywhere from 6.5 to 7.5 I've seen. They're the number 6 ranked team in the country. As I said before, they've got one of the best offenses, one of the best defenses. They haven't really played anybody, and they'll admit that. NC State was number 24 in the country. But I think not many people across the country are picking Oklahoma in this game. I think a lot of people are picking Tennessee. So we'll call it an upset if OU wins. What's your recipe for an upset?
I think
Randall,
that
you start us off. Sorry, go ahead.
I apologize. I should have waited for you to finish. I think that for an upset, OU's got to do what we've talked about before. They've got to hit the easy stuff on offense. You've got to be able to sustain drives, and whether that's starting with a 3, 4, 5-yard run to not get behind the sticks, whether that's hitting Deion Burks for a 13-yard slant on 2nd and 5, or whether that's being able to hit a 40, 50-yarder to Nick Anderson later in the game. OU's got to be able to take the easy stuff to help develop those big plays. They've got to be able to not necessarily dominate the ground game, but run the ball well enough to move the sticks, to not get behind the sticks. And Jackson Arnold's got to be able to hit those easy routes, make good decisions, not turn the ball over in the passing game. Obviously, Oklahoma's defense is going to do what, well, Oklahoma needs their defense to do what needs to be done. But even if Oklahoma's defense plays well, it's not going to matter if the offense can't put up a few points. If Jackson Arnold and that running game can't get things going and keep the defense off the field for the entire game. So I think that a recipe for an upset, take the easy stuff, get the ground game going, stay ahead of the sticks.
I agree. They can't have 3-and-outs, stacking up 3-and-outs. They can't have turnovers, obviously. But I think Oklahoma's best hope for an upset lies in these two things. One is takeaways. They've got to continue to get takeaways from that very dangerous Tennessee offense. And then I'm going to put it on the crowd right here. I'm going to say this needs to be an all-time crowd atmosphere. I've covered Oklahoma now for 21 years. I can go back to one game, the best, most exciting, most electrifying that I've ever seen an Oklahoma crowd was 2008, the jump around game. Texas Tech comes to town, ranked number 1 in one poll, number 2 in another poll. Oklahoma smashed them 63, I think, to 21 because Oklahoma was the better team. Oklahoma played better that night, but also Oklahoma was riding a wave of emotion and momentum from that crowd. It was electrifying. So I'm not sure this week if the crowd intends to stay for all 4 quarters, right? So you can't really put your money on that. But I am sure that if OU gets Nico to give the football away, I think the Sooners can win, and maybe even win convincingly. That might be a stretch, but maybe not. OU still leads the nation, I think, in takeaways right now. Tennessee has given the ball away 3 times this year in 3 games, which ranks tied for 55th in the country. So turnovers to me are obvious, but guys, these fans, I'm telling you, this is a strange territory for them. A lot of them, I should say. A lot of younger fans are going to this game, and they'll never have seen an opponent this good, this highly hyped. So they're going to be told how to behave. They're going to be told when they can leave, right? That's not normal for OU fans. They sit on their hands and they stand up when they feel like it, and they leave when they want to. A little bit of House of Pain, jump around in place of that Toby Keith sing along to start the 4th quarter would go a long way, unless the Sooners are down by like 30 already. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the fans actually, I think they understand the assignment. They know what they're signing up for. And frankly, the fans have complained about playing Iowa State at home. I've complained about covering Iowa State. So this is what you want. Figure it out. For me, it's a 3-phase football game, right? Oklahoma, simply put, they're going to have to dominate one of them. They're going to have to definitely win the second, and they're going to have to hold their own in the third. I don't think the offense has the capability to dominate Tennessee's defensive front. I just don't think it's a good offensive line, healthy or not. So they're going to have to be dominant, whether that be 3+ takeaways or they're winning the field position battle because they're killers on special teams. They're doing a great job covering punts like we talked about on the pod earlier this week. They're doing a great job pinning Tennessee deep and Tyler Keltner's money. Then that defense rolls out there and they're able to stop the run and they're able to turn Nico over. I don't see Oklahoma pulling this upset unless the turnover battle is at least +2. And if it's only 2, one of those needs to be on the Tennessee half of the football field. But the good news is that's not some big like pie in the sky recipe like OU Texas 2022 when you're just hoping that Jesus will come down and play quarterback for the Sooners, anything like that. This is Oklahoma's been excellent takeaways. They've been great on the punt team and punt coverage. Keltner, when he snaps the ball, has been pretty good in the field. Those are all possibilities. And from there, then the offense just can't turn the ball over, and they can't just have a ton of 3-and-outs or the 4-and-outs that only take 45 seconds off the clock. They're going to have to protect the defense a little bit because this is a defense worth protecting.
Okay, thanks, guys. Good stuff as always. Oklahoma Sooners on SI.com is where you're going to find all of our wall-to-wall coverage of OU football. We've been in Norman all week. We're going to be there all day on Saturday, pregame coverage. We're going to be there before college game day kicks off, so all day for the crew at Sooners on SI. Don't forget, we'll have the latest breaking news, the up-to-date injury reports, world-famous, check it out, in-game live blog. That's all of our thoughts. We don't put that stuff on Twitter. We put it on our website. Bring you in and let you read it real time as it develops. We've got the post-game interviews. We've got players, coaches, as well as our own post-game reaction on the field. And, of course, the Sooners on SI podcast, certified fresh from the press box. It's going to be a late one, boys. I hope you're up for it. Get plenty of coffee and plenty of sleep the night before. All you got to do is keep it right here at Oklahoma Sooners on SI.com to keep up with all of our work. For Ryan Chapman, for Randall Sweet, I'm John Hoover. We'll see you guys.